Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm offering a Foreign Ops Amendment that I'd like to testify on, Division G. It's Amendment 41.
Thank you.
And Mr. Chairman, I recently spent time in Israel with Leader McCarthy, Democratic Whip Hoyer, and several dozen other congressional colleagues. And during that visit, I had occasion to ask a question to the Prime Minister of the Palestinian Authority. I asked, how many schools funded directly or indirectly by U.S. taxpayers are named after terrorists? I knew the answer was 34, but the answer I got was very surprising. The Prime Minister of the Palestinian Authority didn't indicate that these schools weren't named after terrorists. He didn't indicate that this was a circumstance that was a sad reflection of history. He simply shrugged and said, well, we incite, they incite, referring to Israelis. I've been haunted by this answer and the reality that today American taxpayers are funding an admitted strategy by the Palestinian Authority to poison the minds of their youth by naming schools after some of the most despicable and violent people who've ever lived. It's very frustrating. My amendment removes U.S. taxpayer funding for Palestinian Authority schools named after terrorists. If my amendment does not pass, people in my district and throughout the country will continue to send money overseas for the direct and admitted purpose of promoting hate. We deserve better. So I'm going to go through a few illustrative examples, Mr. Chairman. The first is, there we go. All right. How many microphones does it take for a freshman to offer an amendment?
Just speak to the one that works.
Very well. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One example is the example of Shaida Abdul Ghazila. And this was a lady who was preparing to detonate a suicide bomb in Tel Aviv, Israel. It exploded and killed her instead. Today, her biography is glorified on the walls outside of 2 schools in areas controlled by the Palestinian Authority. Students are taught in this school that she is the model of a patriotic woman. Dali Mughrabi led the Coastal Road Massacre by hijacking a bus. She killed 37 people, including 12 children, and injured another 70. 3 schools are named after her. 2 students attending one of these schools were interviewed on March 27, 2014. They said, Dali Mughrabi is a great leader. Our mothers give birth to thousands like Dali. She walks among us, and I'm personally proud to attend the Dali Mughrabi school. A second little girl who attended that school said, my life's ambition is to reach the level of the martyr fighter Dali Mughrabi. Khalil al-Wazir headed the PLO terrorist organization's military wing. He planned attacks that killed over 125 Israelis. 5 schools are named after him. Shali Khalif led the Black September terrorist organization. He planned the murder of 11 Israeli athletes at the Munich Olympics and the murder of 2 American diplomats in the Sudan in 1973. 4 schools are named after him. Abdullah Azzam was co-founder of Al-Qaeda and trained alongside Osama bin Laden. An elementary school for boys is named in his honor. Abdul Ali Ayad was head of the Fatah military in the 1960s. He led attacks on 4 Israeli towns. A high school for girls carries his name. Amin al-Husseini was a Nazi collaborator. During World War II, he moved to Berlin, where he served as a Hitler associate. In Yugoslavia, they designated him a war criminal. When the Nazis offered to free some Jewish children, al-Husseini prohibited their release, resulting in 5,000 children being sent to gas chambers. An elementary school is named after him. Hassan Shalem was also a Nazi operative. He was sent by the Nazis during World War II to poison the water supply in British-controlled areas near Tel Aviv. 2 schools are named after him. Mr. Chairman, I am not against education. I absolutely believe that the future in the Middle East depends on the purveying of inclusive values. But I cannot sit here and allow us to not even consider an amendment that would remove U.S. funding for those schools where we're not engaged in true pedagogy and inclusive values, where we have the admission that these schools are named after these terrorists for the purpose of incitement, and for that reason, I would respectfully request that the Rules Committee consider Amendment 41 in order, and I yield back.